Hello and welcome to the From the Finney podcast with me, Jake.
Me, Ollie.
And me, Dan.
So in this episode of the pod, we'll be going over yesterday's comeback against Rovers. We'll have a chat about Tom Barkhuizen, the bitter Tony Mowbray, and also we'll talk about Jayden Stockley's performance. Howdy, boys. We good? Are you both calmed down after yesterday?
Yep, my voice and breath have just about come back.
Yeah, I was a little bit hoarse myself.
Yeah, my voice has still been, like, all day, it's been cracking a little bit and been going weirdly high-pitched.
Sounding like a prepubescent child.
Yes, a little bit. More so than usual.
How are you, Oliver?
I'm cracking, lads. Absolutely. Good. My brain's cracking. Yeah, mad
in
few
every
days.
Sense.
Yeah,
every
amazing.
time we do a pod, you always seem to have had a mad few days.
It's every weekend, isn't it? So
True.
Yeah, every Sunday. But yeah, let's get the pod done and then I'll have a sleep for a week. So
yeah, if only. Talk about a roller coaster of emotions yesterday. Obviously, it was brilliant to come back from being 2-0 down inside, 11, 12 minutes. And it's been said elsewhere online, but to me, it felt better yesterday coming back and winning in the way that we did than last season's 4-1 win.
With the
just
derby,
because they fell into that cocky little phase. I suppose you would, to be honest, if you're 2-0 up inside 11 minutes, but then yeah,
it's more satisfying when they've had hope, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd rather win 4-0, me.
Of course.
Well, I think my doctor would rather we win 4-0 for my sake, but
as soon as we got the first goal back, though, I don't think it was ever in doubt, was it?
No.
I said to you,
I thought exactly the same.
As soon as we got one, I was pretty confident we'd win. We got it back to 2-2, and then it went a bit flat, didn't it?
Yeah, we were talking after the game yesterday, weren't we?
Yeah.
There was about 5-10 minutes where it just felt a bit meh.
Yeah, and then obviously the Barkey's goal, but I know what you mean. Like, I think it's better. Yeah, like they had a bit of hope. They thought they'd win, and now I think they're 18th and we're
17th.
second. They're 17th and we're second. So
I spent half time just staring at the floor with my head in my hands.
Yeah.
Well, just on half time, I spent half time getting absolutely infuriated at the shite service on the Tom Finney stand. It's almost like they don't know how to deal with a big crowd.
No, they really don't. I mean, I know we're going slightly off topic with this, but the last, I think, 3 or 4 times I've tried to have food before the game, they've run out of what I wanted.
Yeah,
that's just turning up
piss poor.
10 minutes before the game, they've run out of whatever I fancy.
Well, we went to Spoons before the game, didn't we? And I didn't even get any hash browns, so
No, he's fuming about that.
Yeah, hash browns out the Spoons breakfast.
Yeah, that's why I got a Spoons breakfast and I never got any hash browns.
Yesterday I think it was clear to see that tactically Alex Neil got it wrong in the first half, definitely.
Yeah, well, before the game, literally as the game kicked off, I messaged you saying, this looks a bit West, Alan Brown on the right. And then literally from the first phase of play, Alan Brown just looked absolutely clueless. They went down their left. Alan Brown was like way too narrow, got a crossing, went to the other side, got a crossing again. But first half was probably as bad. Well, I went to Reading like 2 weeks ago. A week ago. And I thought that was as bad as we played. First half yesterday was just terrible.
If only you knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, you can't speak too much about the tactics in the first half. It was more down to, I think they just wanted it more, honestly. They were more intense.
Yeah,
obviously, without Ben Davis was a massive loss in terms of how we set up anyway.
Of course it was, but I think tactically, Neil, he evidently got it wrong because he made a change.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, by his own admission, he said he got it wrong.
Yeah. Of course he did, but he does weird things with Alan Brown.
Do you want to rephrase that?
No, I phrase it like that on purpose because
yeah, I know what you mean.
Like Middlesbrough away last season, he started at right wing back. We were shocking in that first half as well. Should have been out of sight, Middlesbrough. Changed at half time. Stockley scored the winner.
Yeah.
I think he scored the winner. And then yesterday he started on the right. But I think he just wants to shoehorn Alan Brown into the team sometimes, especially in big games.
Yeah, it feels that way sometimes, doesn't it?
And I think the reason he took Galley off was probably just because of his age. He was going to take him off anyway in the second half.
So at least he's not going to be running to the ground for Charlton.
I don't know if the Charlton game will suit Galley, but he'll probably start. But even when we changed it in the first half, like Stockley came on.
We still needed half time badly, whether it was to put a rocket up them or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
It seems like that's what it was, doesn't it?
Yeah, and in the second half we were more 4-1-4-1 with like 4 players like DJ and Brown, Maguire and Barkey all playing close to Stockley. It's like a narrow 4 behind.
Yeah.
And then obviously Stockley just bullied Derek Williams. And then DJ they were playing alongside each other, but DJ was running past Stockley quite a lot. But obviously Brown won the penalty for him doing the same. But they just had no reaction to that tactically because they just couldn't deal with Stockley, and they had no central midfielder to help out the centre backs. But that was about it, really. I think it was just it's typical game of two halves, and with the way they're playing at the minute, as soon as we scored the first,
like we said, you just knew it was coming, didn't you?
Yeah.
As in the win.
Yeah.
Even I, in my pit of despair, once we pulled it back to 2-1. I mean, I couldn't see us scoring before we scored, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But once we did, I was like, well, I mean, it's going to happen, isn't it?
Well, I think 12 shots with 8 on target, was it?
Yeah.
To their 1 shot on target. Tells you everything you need to know, despite Tony Mowbray and the Rovers chat website saying that we undeservedly won the game.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I think the first 30 minutes obviously was shocking, but the last 45 was... We weren't that good, but we
were nowhere near our scintillating best, but we did what we needed to do to win. And credit Alex Neil for getting it right with the changes that he made in the first half, or the change that he made in the first half.
It was a bold one to take Galley off.
Yeah, well, he was fuming, wasn't he?
I think it was clear from the first 20 minutes that it wasn't going to be a game for him.
I don't know. I said in the player, I felt he was maybe a little bit harshly taken off.
I mean, to take any player off after 20 minutes, a player who hasn't really done much wrong, is probably hard.
I mean, my thinking with it was that if we were going to be bringing Stockley on and pumping balls up into sort of in and around him, then why take someone like Galley off with the quality that he's got? But
I was just going to say, I think Neil took Galley off because he was going to make that sub anyway in the second half.
Yeah.
He was going to take Galley off in the second half, so he would have wasted a sub in a way. And Alan Brown's got good delivery from set pieces.
Yeah, he does, but he's not on Galley's level, is he?
No, Alan Brown can run for 90 minutes, can't he?
True.
But I thought he would have taken Brown off as well. But
he's like a perpetual motion engine.
Yeah, that's what he is, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, that was bold. And then what other sub did he make?
Potts in like the 91st minute.
Oh yeah, that was it, wasn't it?
Potts for Maguire.
Did we only make 2 changes yesterday?
Yeah. Does it quite a lot though, doesn't he, Neil?
Yeah.
He'll only sometimes make 1 or 2 changes in a game. Obviously trusts what his players do on the pitch and trusts their fitness levels.
Yeah, I think the one thing I'd say from like yesterday is just how important Ben Davies is.
Yeah.
Huge.
Not even just defensively, but more in terms of like, because Hughes just looked confused positionally when we had the ball more than when we didn't have the ball. But yeah, and then the midfield was just proper vacated in the first half. It was weird. But
Yeah, there was times where you had like DJ sitting deep, Maguire. I actually thought Maguire was probably him and Fisher were the two that at half time could go off with the heads held high, but there was times where he was even dropping back into our own half to pick up the ball and try and move us forward and move us further up the pitch, which I think just goes to show how lacklustre the midfield was.
yeah, and even Pearson didn't really get involved, did he, first half?
No, not really.
Had the better of Dak in the second half.
Absolutely.
As usual.
You can file that away in things you love to see.
Yeah.
Did he get booked yesterday? Or
He did not. No, we didn't have a player booked yesterday.
I thought that would have
the,
It's in December.
Oh, is it?
Oh, the
So he's going to get one more, but
yeah, you'd think so.
But he's done all right. Only 4 yellow cards. How many games? 13 games? 12 games in the league?
By his usual standards.
And all four
doing
have been
all right.
All four have been for challenges rather than anything else.
Being a gobshite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just going back to Tony Mowbray then, he couldn't have sounded more bitter in his post-match comments, especially to Radio Langs, if he'd have tried. I mean, it was just completely bizarre. And I think it's important to make a note of what he was quoted as saying before the game as well. Something along the lines of, well, they're almost certainly going to win, or they are going to win, or something like that. How do you get your team up for a game if you're going out in the press saying that?
I think that was... I mentioned on Twitter that I thought it was a very strange attempt at mind games.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's clearly just under a lot of pressure.
He's a very bad loser. I mean, I know we've established that, but...
No, he is. You're definitely right there. Absolutely he is.
He'll get sacked soon, I think.
I would think so.
When you're coming out with stuff like that after the game,
it's a manager who's getting a bit desperate.
Yeah.
It was a bit amateurish, really.
I think Deep Dive Digest published a piece this afternoon about where he said, I wouldn't instruct my players to go out and cheat, but then I think I've not read the piece, I just saw it, but something from his time at Coventry where he's basically done the exact thing that he said he would never do.
Yeah, when he was at Coventry, he said he wanted his experienced players to teach his younger lads the dark arts of football.
He actually sounds like Graham Wesley.
Yeah.
To be fair, if I was the manager, I'd want the dark arts, me.
Yeah, but you don't contradict yourself.
No.
I'd say anything to remove from the team's performance. And that's what it's done. No, everyone's just talking about how much of a sore loser he is, not how much their team capitulated.
So you think he's fallen on his sword then?
I don't know what that means, but it sounds like it would hurt.
Basically,
painful one for Tony Mowbray. That very painful.
Basically, he knows he's getting sacked, so he thought he might as well take the blame.
No, I just think you don't want people to think about how shit his team was.
Yeah.
Like it's the same as what Mourinho used to do all the time. People just used to speak about Mourinho instead of. I'm not saying Tony Mowbray is Jose Mourinho.
Well, of course not. I don't think anyone would think that you were.
Just going back to that though, I think every single team in the league thinks that we're like one of the shithousiest teams in the league. We probably don't notice it because obviously we see it every week. But
I like to refer to it as game management. To be honest, I just think we're very good at it.
Because Fisher did 3 or 4 of them yesterday, no contact.
Yeah,
just went down. We do it every week. So. And even for the penalty.
Just on that as well, it's just something else to me that highlights what a good manager Alex Neil is. For him to, unlike Tony Mowbray, who's come out and blamed the referee for the defeat, I think if that was the other way around, Neil would not have pulled any punches if it was his team, or if it was something that he'd done, he would have taken full responsibility for it.
Yeah.
But it just shows the kind of manager that we have versus Rovers. You know, he was willing to, like he said in the press afterwards, he was willing to swallow his pride and make the necessary changes to give us the best opportunity to try and win the game.
The comments about the referee, not just from Mowbray but from the Rovers fans, I found absolutely bizarre. We got nothing in the first half, and I mean the penalty's about as stonewall as you can get. He's yanked him by the arm and pulled him down.
Yeah. There was a second one as well that I thought we should have had.
The second one was more than the first one for me.
Yeah.
I thought Brown made contact on purpose for the first one.
Yeah, I think Brown was a little bit gamey.
He was clever. He was just clever. I thought the one on Stockley I thought was clear push.
Yeah.
But
of course, because you're right behind it, aren't you? I don't even know which one you're talking about.
I do think
he got
the one
sandwiched between
fans
two
were
players.
Complaining about, which was pretty much right in front of me toward the end of the game. I haven't seen it back, but at the time I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he'd have given that.
What was that?
So where I think it was Bauer at the back post, Derek Williams or the other lad who was playing left back. He looked to be sort of all over him and dragged him to the ground. One of them is 6-1, half a dozen of the other, and like I said, you've seen him given, but then like yesterday you've seen him not given.
Yeah.
So I could maybe have a little tiny smidge of sympathy for that one, but I haven't seen it back, so I can't say definitely. But like I said, at the time I did think like, oh, yeah, maybe.
It wasn't a game where you thought the ref lost control or anything like that, though, was it?
Oh, not really.
So
well, the amount he blew his whistle, he was definitely wrestling control back.
Yeah.
Particularly second half.
And I think we must have now. How many penalties have we had? Like 5 or 6 penalties in the league.
6, I think.
6, yeah. It's a lot of penalties, that. But we're getting into the box. I think they've literally all been at the town end, I think, as well. 90% have been at the town end.
Yeah, I think they all have. DJ's goal against Stoke was at the Cop end.
His first penalty against Sheffield Wednesday was at the Cop end.
Yeah.
And his penalty at Swansea, obviously. But other than that, I think they've all been town end, yeah.
Yeah.
And then his goal against
Galley's against Bristol City was Cop end as well.
Galley's against. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Was DJ on the pitch then?
I think so. He definitely. I'd be surprised if he hadn't started that game.
Yeah, I trust DJ a lot more now than Galley. I don't know why.
He's got the stare that everyone's scared of.
He's cold.
He's matured a lot, hasn't he, this season?
I just think he's absolutely fearless.
To be honest, actually, I think the whole squad have matured. Barkey's comments yesterday after the game, and before the game in the press on the Thursday, I think it was, when he said that there's been targets set internally and they're on course for them at the moment. I think there's just a very sort of a good vibe around the club and among the players, or so it seems at the minute. And you don't have anyone coming out and bitching and moaning when they've not been selected or when they're on the bench or not in the squad.
Everyone seems to be happy with the role they're playing. I mean, people have mentioned that the substitutes recently, particularly, have often been the first ones to celebrate with the players who've scored.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
Andre Green looked buzzing for Barkey on Tuesday night when he scored against Leeds.
Yeah,
and he's not getting a look in.
It's something I alluded to in that piece I did before the season started. Like an extra season, every single player pretty much has played at this level. They just know what they're doing. Some of them have been here like 5, 6, 7 years now, and they just know what they're doing. Like when you compare it to, like, say, Barnsley the other week, just men against boys.
Yeah, it was.
We're a good team. We're a very good team. And same for Alex Neil as well. He's got another year. Another year in the league. How many years he got in the league now? Probably about 4.
Well, he had 1 with Norwich. Well, 1.5 with Norwich.
Yeah, and 2 and a bit with us.
Yeah.
So we are very experienced now. Even though we don't have many old players. Even the likes
of Galley, really.
Yeah, even the likes of like Ben Pearson, Alan Brown, DJ, Barkey.
Very experienced.
What other players over 30 do we have that play semi-regularly apart from Nugent Galley?
That's it.
Yeah. Tom Clark's injured, isn't he?
Yeah, and Huntington, obviously, but he's 5th choice centre-back out of the picture, I think.
I think the second oldest would probably be Bauer, maybe. 3rd oldest.
I think it's 28 or 29, something like that.
It's 28, yeah. Good age, though, that. And then the rest are like 25, 26, 27, aren't they?
Yeah, Barkey.
Then,
I think Hughes is 28, actually.
Yeah, Hughes might be at.
He's deceptively old.
Yeah, maybe 28 as well. Well, we don't have many very young players either now. We've just got we've got a lot of players at a perfect age. If you think about last season, we had Earl starting.
27, Hughes.
27. We had Earl. We had Nemetcha starting. Barker played a fair few games,
especially early on.
Yeah, but now the bulk I'd say are between like 23 and 27.
Yeah,
which is like proper good age.
And even if they're on the younger side of that, they've still got a fair amount of appearances at this level.
Yeah,
like Pearson, I think, who's 24. You know, he's probably played over 100, 150 games at this level now.
Yeah, he can tell us well.
Yeah.
So yeah, team's banging.
Right, I think we'll call that part 1, boys.
Sound
sweet.
Good stuff.
As a nut. I'll go and use my new Tassimo machine and get a brew, and I'll be back.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lonergan, and you're listening to the From the Finney podcast.
Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the From the Finney podcast. In this part, we're going to talk about Jayden Stockley's performance against Rovers, Tom Barkhuizen's recent form, and we'll also look at Sunday's game against Charlton Athletic. I think we'll just jump straight into Jayden's performance. This should be an interesting section, and I'm sure it's one that a lot of people have been looking forward to. Firstly, credit where it's due. Played well for 45 minutes. He took his time getting into things, and I think that the rollicking that they all got at half-time, plus I suspect some tactical instructions from Alex Neil, had a big effect on his second half performance. And I'll address it now. Those people online who've been saying like, will the From the Finney boys, namely Ollie, apologise? I can't wait to hear what the From the Finney boys have to say. Even someone commenting on the official club post on Facebook saying, I wonder what the From the Finney boys will say. Just tag us in it. Just tag us. Not bothered.
Don't be afraid to at us next time.
Yeah. Really not bothered. All I will say, though, and I've said it in my ratings piece, I've said it to you two today, is that one swallow does not a summer make. Basically, just because he's performed well in 145-minute spell, it doesn't necessarily mean that things are going to stay like that. I hope it does. I hope he goes on to have a good second half of the season. And as with all the players, if he plays well, I'll back him. Just need to see more of yesterday. He has to do it on a more consistent basis.
I think the key thing for me yesterday was like when he's come on, his attitude's been shocking.
Yeah,
like throwing his arm.
He's probably one of the biggest moaners on the pitch when he's played.
Well, yesterday, his attitude wasn't.
He got on with it.
Yeah, I think it's because we had a proper job to do, so he just got on with it.
Yeah, yesterday he had a hand in all the goals that we scored, and he deserves credit for that, and we'll give him that because, you know, we talk about what we see and how we see it, and if we're slating a player or if we're saying that they've not played well, it's because they've not played well. Despite preconceptions that other people may have on a player, we try to take any of that away and just talk on a performance. I think people just need to be aware to not get carried away with one performance. It has to be on a consistent basis.
I think he knew yesterday getting subbed on in the 30th minute that he had to make an impact.
Yeah.
And we've said before, though, there will be certain games that suit the way that is going to suit the way that he plays. And I said to you, I wouldn't matter because I saw Stockley warming up, and I didn't mind Stockley coming on yesterday.
I think you messaged me about 15 minutes into the game, 20 minutes into the game, and said this could be one for Stockley.
Because as soon as the
for
team
those
gets,
of you that are listening that want an apology off Ollie, that's as close as you're going to get.
I'm not going to apologise for calling someone a tree. Like, do you know, he gets paid £8,000 a week.
One thing, I don't know if you remember, Ollie, yesterday, one thing that I said that we should title the episode of this podcast is that the tree was uprooted.
Yeah, like, it's...
That's when he wins a penalty.
Yeah, which, to be fair, he should have done yesterday anyway.
Well, I mean, I think just to be fair to us, from the people who point the finger at
I've said
Who
it to
cares?
you today.
Who cares?
I don't give a shit. If we lose a few followers, I don't care.
I mean,
Who gives a shit?
What other podcasts are they going to go and listen to about North End? The club one. They don't do it anymore.
Point I'm saying, lads.
Sorry, I'm just passionate.
In our defence against the people who might point the finger, I will just point out that we've never really made a secret of the fact that we thought there'd be games that would really suit Stockley, and yesterday is just a vindication of that, really. Yes,
highlights it. But
I wouldn't start him next week against Charlton just because of yesterday. Because Charlton, we'll have to stretch the game against Charlton. That's how we play.
Well, I think until he puts in a performance like he did in the second half yesterday, if we see that with him off the bench on a consistent basis, I don't think there'll ever be a justification for him to start a game until that point.
Not really. With how we've played this season. We've got to second playing how we've played, which is with pace, mobility up front, taking the game to teams, stretching teams. But just on criticising players, like this season, we've said frequently about Declan that he's improved, he's looked better, but he's still arguably one of, if not the weakest link in the team. And as improved as his performances have been this season, he's still had a few ricks in him. But we've credited him when he's played well and we've critiqued him when he's not. And we'll do the same with every player. So I think, those people that are looking for...
What I would say is the only reason he won a header yesterday is because he was playing against a 5'10" left back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for the penalty, the header he won was against Adarabio, who's 6'4", so...
Well, I said it in my player ratings. He doesn't. He looks like he might have just got a touch on it. If anything, it's more of a push in the back on Adarabio than actually getting up and challenging and winning the header. Adarabio got up in front of him, and it just looked like a bit of a push in the back. In the first half, I know we've already said he didn't really do much in the first half, but there was a time where the ball was played up, and he was stood in and around the centre circle. Didn't even attempt to win the ball. Adarabio just moved in front of him. Literally just stepped in front of him and won the header. I think people sometimes forget. They get a bit blinkered. They look at a good 45 minutes, but forget to look at a poor or an average, distinctly average first 10 minutes. Overall for the 60, 65, 70 minutes that he was on the pitch, he did well. But having a 5'11" left back, left centre back.
The key was yesterday just getting runners proper close to him. That was the key. Because when he's on his own, he can't hold it up like Hugo could. He can't. So.
Well, like we said, he's had a hand in all three of the goals, and that has come because he's had people up and around him and nearby.
And to be fair to Rudd as well, 2 of them came from good kicks from Rudd, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know Rudd could kick it that far.
One of the lads that sits with me on the Finney, he even said yesterday, he started getting a few good kicks in of late. And
one of my biggest criticisms of Rudd has always been his distribution.
It's not been the best.
I think it's still a bit ropey, isn't it? But yesterday it was bang on. And go on. Sorry, I was going to say I don't think Rudd could have done anything about either of them yesterday. I think the first one was just very unlucky from Rudd's point of view.
Yeah, I mean,
it hit the post and just hit Rudd, didn't it?
When I saw it, because I sit dead in line with the 6-yard box on the Finney side.
Yeah.
So the angle I saw, it looked like he'd overdived. It had come down off his elbow and sort of gone in under him.
Yeah, it's just one of them.
It was only when I saw that replay from behind it where I saw just how good the header was. It came back on him off the inside of the post. So
it was a cracking header. He's a good player, that Sam Gallagher. It was a good header.
It was a funny dive though. Just watching the dive in isolation, he leapt like a salmon sideways. But I don't know. I think he could have maybe done a little bit better with the second one. It's a good finish. Take nothing away from Gallagher.
On his weaker foot as well. It's a cracking finish. That.
But
it reminded me of
Adam
Armstrong's Barnsley a couple of years ago.
Similar goal on his weaker foot as well.
Of what?
Armstrong's goal against us for Barnsley when they beat us.
Yeah.
Similar kind of finish.
But I think Rudd can maybe be accused of looking for a whistle or a flag from the linesman more than rather than concentrating on trying to save it.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite Fabian Barthez level of asking for offside while someone scores past you.
No, but I mean, you watch the highlights or the replays back, and he does just feebly wave an arm at it. But yeah, take nothing away from Gallagher. It's a good finish.
It was right inside the post. I don't think he could have got to it.
Yeah, like I said, take nothing away from the finish.
Yeah. It was more a question of whether he handballed it or not.
Again, I watched it back, and it looks, even if he did, it looks like it's
I didn't think it was.
The players seemed sure, but to be honest, it was right in front of me, and to me, it looked like it hit his midriff.
Yeah, I couldn't tell, but yeah, players were desperate at that point.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know many.
Were on the ropes, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know many refs who would give that, because
it was also
would have had to go off the line.
Point blank.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, 2-0 down after 10 minutes and then win the game, so buzzing.
Can't complain, can you?
No. Have we been second in the league yet this season, by the way?
Yeah, when we went 1-0 up against Leeds.
I mean, at full time, have we been second?
No.
At the moment is the first time we've been second in the Championship since 2006.
Well, the last time we were higher than this was Christmas under Paul Simpson. And then Billy Davis dropped the old, I've got two teams at the top of the league. And it went downhill from there.
I don't remember that.
Do you not remember that?
No.
Derby were second. We were top. Derby were second. And then Billy Davis came out in the press afterwards and after one of Derby's games and said, well, yeah, I've got two teams at the top of the league, really. And I think Sedgy says in his podcast that Simo had a big bite on that. And it went to shit from then on.
Oh, God.
Obviously, we ended up finishing 7th that season.
Yeah, I think just looking at the league now, I think there's like a top 9 maybe, and there's a bottom 8, and then there's like a middle few.
Yeah.
So, but even I think if we'd have lost yesterday, it would have been 8th, wouldn't we? So it still doesn't mean that much at this stage, but obviously just good to have points on the board.
Well, we could still drop after tomorrow, couldn't we?
Who's playing tomorrow?
QPR
are playing tomorrow. They win, they go above us.
Bit of a derby, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Good game.
Who are they playing?
Brentford at home.
Ooh, yeah, tough game.
I think that is a rivalry, isn't it? I think.
Just a point, Ollie. You think about Stoke going on a run doesn't seem to be going too well.
Shit happens, doesn't it?
Shit does happen, mate.
They'll be top 6. Trust me.
They won't.
I mean, I don't think they'll be in trouble come the end of the season, but it'd take a hell of a run for them to get top 6 now.
Do you want to make a charity bet, Ollie, about Stoke?
Yeah, but bearing in mind, I don't have much money, but
neither do I. But I'll have you 20 quid.
20 quid, right?
To mine charity who support the EFL. So yeah, if Stoke finish in the top 6, I'll donate 20 quid to mine on behalf of.
I'm witness.
Sound.
Dan and the hundreds of listeners are witness. And if Stoke don't finish in the top 6, you can donate 20 quid.
Tell you what, lads. I'm
that.
willing to double down on this. I'm the only one of us who predicted QPR to finish top 6.
Oh.
And you guys both are still telling me it wouldn't happen. If they don't, I'll donate 20 quid to mine at the end of the season as well.
Sound. So mine are getting money because QPR are coming bottom 6.
Yeah. So if one of the listeners can remind us toward the end of the season, because I've no doubt we'll all forget. Right.
I think Stoke. I think Stoke.
Don't go changing it now.
I'm not. But as long as they keep Nathan Jones, I think they'll be top 6.
Right.
That bet's
get
there.
your excuses in early.
No, I back Nathan. I support managers, not clubs, don't I, Jake? So
yeah, you do. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, just give him a bit of time. be buzzing.
Talking about buzzing, one of our players has been buzzing, hasn't he? Barky.
Have you heard a funny rumour today about Barky?
Yeah, Bayer Leverkusen want Davis and Barky.
Davis and Barky.
Yeah,
I thought I was still in a weird state, but it turns out that was a real rumour.
Yeah, but it's come from the Sun, so I'll take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, but it's very strange. But yeah, he's I mean, he's that 7 for the season, is it?
7 in all comps for the season. 2 against Bradford, was it?
Yeah. I think he only scored 7 last season, didn't he?
I think so.
Season before he scored a few more, I think. Maybe like
9 or 10, I think.
9 or 10, yeah. So he's looking at like 15, isn't he, now?
If he keeps it up.
Yeah, he's playing. He's just that finish yesterday for his second one.
Unbelievable. I mean, the first one, let's go in order. It came at him quite quickly, and it was a decent cushioned header. Yeah. I mean, obviously the keeper was nowhere near.
That goal, by the way, just sums up how we play. Like, because he's obviously Maguire started on the right, he was on the left. Maguire headed it in from 2 yards out, and they're both in the box, 6-yard box. So
I think as well, it just reiterates our never say die attitude. You know, the Rovers keeper.
That ball was out. I had given up on it.
It was weird because it looked like it was like drifting way out, and then
I think
even Fisher had
needs credit because he got in behind to the point where he made it difficult for Walton to follow it out, and I think Maguire's movement and position for that essentially made Walton do what he did.
Yeah, it was shocking keeping, but as you say, if Maguire wasn't there would have been no goal. Even Fisher had his head in his hands.
Yeah, he was.
With the yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, and Barky gets into their positions.
Yeah, he does. Nice little cushioned header.
Yeah.
Bring us back into it.
Yeah.
And then obviously his second, our third of the game.
Superb.
When Brown plays the ball through to him, I'm thinking Stockley's won the header or chested it into Alan Brown, whatever it was. Yeah. And he's peeling off. He's looking to the back stick. I'm thinking, right, it's on Barky's good foot. Just either whip something in quick to the back post or just float it into the back post and give Stockley something to attack. And I mean, I think he definitely whipped it into the back post.
Yeah, you could tell when he got the ball. You could tell how he opened his body up. That's what he was going to do, but keeper couldn't do anything about it. It's just perfect finish.
Unbelievable finish.
And did you see the last 5 minutes of the warm up as well?
Nope.
Did you see in the shoot? He scored every goal in the shooting drill at the end of the warm up.
Had we got in by the? I thought
we saw the end. We just saw the players.
I remember looking at my watch and it was like 22, and because of the awful service, I couldn't get a beer before the game.
I don't know why I didn't notice it going on. I must have just been talking to my dad.
Alan Brown missed everyone and Barky scored everyone. But yeah, perfect finish, and he's probably alongside DJ and Ben Davis, Bauer. You'd say he'd start every game that he's fit now. Because at the start of the season, Bowden was pushing him. Obviously, Bowden's injured, but Barky's just integral to the way we play. Similar to Maguire now, he's made that. They both made wide positions their own, really.
Absolutely.
For various reasons, and they can both get into the box like yesterday. So yeah, Maguire could do with a couple more.
Yeah,
but he's playing well generally.
Yeah, I think his overall play is really good. He's like you said, he's integral to the team, isn't he?
And he looks fully fit, doesn't he? So that's not really a concern anymore.
No, he's probably gone the best part of a year now without an injury. I think it's almost certainly helped that the club have reduced his training load. Is it Mondays or something that he gets off, or Wednesdays now?
Yeah, I think that's just generally Neil's managing the squad better. Obviously, Hughes had the injury, but that was more of like a contact injury, the hip thing.
Yeah.
And then Harrop's just he's out for a month or so, I think, with a hamstring.
Yeah, Neil said a few weeks, didn't he?
Yeah, but apart from that, obviously Billy Bowden as well.
Bill's on his way back, or Angelino.
Yeah. And then we had the Ben Davis one where you could tell straight away that he'd done something.
Yeah, you messaged when he went down.
That was just the way the ball ricocheted off him.
Yeah, against Leeds, he didn't look right, did he?
He should be back for Sunday. Sorry.
Well, yeah, if it's a sprained ankle, you'd think it's 2 or 3 days out, and then just ease himself back into training.
Yeah, but everyone's playing well. I thought, well, obviously Stockley did well yesterday, but I'd say Fisher was man of the match for me. I thought he was impeccable. Yeah.
It's between him and Barkey for me. But yeah.
I think obviously Barkey got it.
Did they announce it yesterday?
I don't know.
They did. It was after the game though.
Was it?
After final whistle, yeah.
Because they didn't announce one on Tuesday either, did they?
Who was it on Tuesday?
Ben Davis, I think.
Was it? Yeah.
I think so. Doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah. So
everyone's playing well.
Yeah, we're a well-oiled machine at the minute. I think is probably a good way of putting it. And long way to continue.
A machine that took some kicking into life yesterday, but it got there in the end. Just had to turn it off and turn it back on again, didn't we? Yeah.
One little thing I'd say is just at the start of the season, we were scoring in the first 30 minutes in most games. Obviously, Reading, they scored first. Leeds took us 80, 75 minutes, and then obviously Blackburn scored first. But we won't keep getting results if we don't score first. But it's not really an issue at the moment. It's just something I thought I'd highlight.
No, I don't think it is an issue.
No, it's not. But just we're not starting games as quick as we were.
But that's obviously going to come in that you can't keep up that intensity for a whole season.
Yeah. And another thing I'd point out is we've scored 10 more goals than Leeds.
Yeah.
And
the quote-unquote best attacking team in the league.
Yeah, and did you see we've scored more goals at home than 22 teams have scored home and away?
Have we?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Mad that, innit?
Yeah.
So
I've seen that one.
Yeah, I think have we scored 6? Have we won 6?
Well done, Alex. Well done.
1-6, drawn 2, is it?
1-6, drawn 2 at home, yeah.
Yeah.
Good record.
Mental.
Very good.
Bloody good record, that.
But very tough game on Sunday coming up.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking ahead to Charlton, I'm going to do something that probably not a lot of fans would, but thanks, Sky, means I can watch the game.
You can't watch it, can you? Haven't you got a match?
Nope. Check my fixtures, and we don't have one penciled in.
Yeah, it's a weird one. 12 o'clock on a Sunday.
12:30, I think it is, isn't it?
12, midday.
Is it?
Yeah. Bang on midday.
Well, either way, I'll be in the pub with a beer. So
which is just a horrible time to kick off a game of football.
Yeah.
And Sky are absolute shithouses because you can't get the train there before kick-off, and the coaches leave at 4:30.
I'm not saying they're good. I'm just thanking them because it means I can watch the game.
I can watch it as well.
Probably thousands of other North End fans can. But yeah, take nothing away from those that are going that had already made plans, because it is a shitter for what they have to try or what they have probably had to try and rearrange.
Yeah, I think Charlton have dropped off a little bit in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But still, they're still going to be a very tough game. I'm not sure how many games they've lost.
Against West Brom yesterday.
What did they do yesterday?
Last minute equaliser against West Brom.
2-2, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did West Brom not come from 2-0 down?
No.
Or was that Tuesday night? Am I thinking of?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the days are blurred together.
Barnsley was Tuesday, wasn't it, for West Brom, I think?
I couldn't tell you, but I just knew Barnsley. Oh, yeah, sorry, that was...
Yeah, Charlton have dropped off. They've only won one of the last 5.
We've only won 2 of the last 6, so...
True.
It happens a lot in this level.
But we're second and they're 9th, so...
How many points are they behind? About 4?
No, 3.
3, exactly.
Still not a lot in it.
Yeah, it'll be obviously Bauer going back there. Be a good game.
Yeah,
the pack breaking up that I keep mentioning just hasn't happened yet.
No, not really. Look down the table, even down to 16th. Derby on 18 points.
I think there's a clear bottom 8 in there now. If you look at it,
to be honest, from Blackburn down, Blackburn in 17th are on 15 points.
Blackburn are in trouble, you know.
Blackburn, Wigan, Luton, Huddersfield, Reading, Borough, Stoke, and Barnsley.
Yeah, I think
if Blackburn want to stay up, they're going to have to get rid of Mowbray and Sharpish.
It'll come in the next few games, I think, if they carry on with the forerunner results.
The squad's easily good enough to stay up.
Yeah.
So, yes, it looks like it's Mowbray's done and dusted there.
As I said to you coming off the game yesterday, Ollie, he's just a bit of a dinosaur, isn't he?
A little bit. He's a little bit like one of them.
Bit Pulisy.
Yeah.
A little bit, a bit stale. Because they could play some proper nice football with the players they've got.
I think
Yeah.
a few of us in the prediction piece we did in the summer had them down as dark horses.
I think I said they'd be like 10th.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that they'd still finish there, but I think there's a lot of work for them to do.
Yeah, and then I don't know who West Brom play on the weekend, but if obviously they don't win on Saturday, we'd have the chance to go top on Sunday, which would get people very excited.
West Brom against your best mate.
Oh, you're joking. Oh, on Monday night?
Yeah.
Oh, so we can go top on the weekend?
Yeah.
Buzzing.
Yeah, they're away at Stoke on Monday. 8 o'clock kickoff, so I assume that'll be on Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sunday's going to be tough. I think if you gave it to me now, I'd take a draw.
Definitely take a draw, I think, yeah.
Might come across as a bit defeatist to some, but yeah.
Nah, it's a tough game, that. On paper,
And our away record's not been particularly good this season either, has it? So
just the one win, is it?
Just the one win at Birmingham.
We have had a few tough games away.
Yeah, we have. We played
obviously Swansea,
Millwall,
Forest,
who again they're up and about there. They could go above us again when they play.
Middlesbrough was a game where we probably, it would be one game I'd say that we should have probably looked to win most out of them.
But I think on the balance of things, we were lucky to come away with a draw, to be honest.
Yeah, and then obviously Reading with a new manager, always tough after the international break. So, and then another tough one on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then Huddersfield the week after that will be tough as well because they're unbeaten in 6 now.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
They're starting to pull themselves back up, aren't they?
Yeah, new managers.
I think unless either of you two have got anything else to say on anything, then we'll call that a podcast.
No, nothing from me.
Daniello?
No, I'm all done.
Nice one.
Yeah, cheers, boys. And thanks for listening to episode 19 of the From the Finney podcast. As we say at the end of every one, you can find us on all social media platforms. Well, I say all 3 of them. Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. And we should be available on the majority of podcast platforms as well. If you want to get in touch with us about anything, ask us any questions, you can slide into our DMs on Twitter or on Facebook or on Instagram, or you can email us at fromthefinney@gmail.com. So yeah, if you've got anything to say, get in touch. And finally, a big thanks again to you boys for
Nice one.
giving up an hour of your time.
No problem.
Nice one, lads.
Cheers, boys. Speak soon.
See you soon.